Hi everyone, welcome to the virtual Amicus and I'm Jay Lodha. Well, today we are joined by a very special speaker. She's a lawyer by profession, a poet by passion, a tarot card reader by fascination, and she's also an influencer. So yes, she adorns so many hats and she does that to perfection. So today we have with us Miss Naina Pachnanda. And just to give you all a brief introduction about our Amicus for today's session, Ms. Naina is a senior innovation specialist at Invest India. And prior to that, she worked as a senior associate at Luthra and Luthra Law Offices. Prior to that, she worked as a lawyer at the chambers of Mr. P.S. Patwalia, Additional Solicitor General of India at the Supreme Court. And she did her law, she studied law from National University of Juridical Sciences, which is Nujaskolkata back in 2014. And she did her schooling from DPS, RK Puram. So thank you so much, Ms. Naina Pachnanda, for taking out time on a busy working day. So anything that you wish to say before we start with our interesting Q&A session?
Thank you so much, Jay, for inviting me. Congratulations on starting the virtual Amicus, and may it grow from strength to strength. And I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Such kind words coming from you really mean a lot. So I'm really very excited. So let's quickly get started. So question number one. So you graduated from a very prestigious national law school, which is the Nujaskolkata. So did that help? Did this prestigious institution help in shaping your career? And also, along with that, if you could share some certain fond memories from college campus. Over to you.
Yes, of course. I think NUJS has really helped. Being a part of NUJS, studying law there for 5 years has really helped shape my personality in various ways, in various areas of my life, whether it was, and it's not just about the exams and the project submissions and the regular curriculum, but also the extracurricular stuff, whether it was participating in moot court competitions, whether it was writing papers, for presentation, whether it was, being a part of I've been an editor of the India Law Journal right from my first year of law school till the present date, and whether it was, researching on different law points, in different subjects and areas of law. So I think all of that has really given clarity to my thoughts. It's given a flow to my thoughts. So then later on, when I practiced as a litigation lawyer and I was drafting petitions, it was much easier for me to sort of have clarity on my thought process. It was not pieces of information put together, but there was a flow. So even today, even something like when I write my poetry, in those 4 sentences that rhyme, there is a story that is told. So I owe all of that to my training at NUJS and, all the activities that I was a part of back in the day. And the competition was very healthy. It was very inspiring. And we live in a competitive world where at every point in time, we need to be at the top of our game. At the same time, we need to be wise too. So I think NUJS helped me. It was my first step into helping me understand and balance this very well. And some of the fond memories that I have. So one memory which comes to my mind is, so we had our fest, our annual fest was called Outlawed. And I remember in my 5th year, it was on my birthday. And we had Vishal Dadlani singing on stage. He was performing. And so he asked us, he's like, does NUJS have any hot girls? So a couple of guys from my batch shouted out my name. And then he looked at me and said, oh, she's not hot, she's beautiful. And then one of my batchmates, a friend of mine, Shreyas, he said that, it's her birthday. So then Vishal called me on stage and he sang happy birthday for me. And I think it's something I'm never going to forget. So so that is one of my fondest memories. And there are many others, from college, but that is something very special and I always remember it.
Fantastic there. So now talking about your journey as a counsel before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, could you share some experiences that you have, some lessons that you've learned over the years of practice, And then if you could also talk about your transition from counsel practice to that of policy related work that you're pursuing. Over to you.
So, I graduated from NUJS in 2014 and I started my career. So when I was in law school, it was always my dream to be a respected senior advocate or a judge. So in pursuance of that dream, I knew I always wanted to pursue litigation. And so I started my career with the then Additional Solicitor General of the Supreme Court, Mr. P.S. Patwalia, back in 2014. And it gave me a very good insight into the functioning of the Supreme Court. I understood how the Supreme Court functions. Mondays and Fridays are the miscellaneous days. The other days are the regular days where the regular arguments take place. So it was a good insight into the workings of a senior lawyer, the chamber of a senior lawyer. It was also my first introduction into the fact that lawyers never have Sundays off because Monday is court. So, but it was a great experience because, being from the government side, there is a roster system. There were matters marked, by the Attorney General. And I learned a lot. And Mr. Patwalia is an amazing human being and a great boss. Thereafter, I shifted to LNL Partners Law Offices, formerly known as Nutra Law Offices. There again, I was pursuing litigation, but I was mostly focused on arbitration and consumer law. I got to appear in a considerable amount of matters. I got to learn how to draft. My drafting skills really, sharpened over there. And it was a great experience, very different from chamber practice, but very fulfilling, nevertheless. Then, in 2019, I decided to, I always wanted to do something for my country. And because I come from a bureaucratic background, my father is an officer of the Indian Police Service. My grandfather was in the army, in the British Indian Army. So, it was always, I think that patriotic spirit was bursting inside of me. And I was very keen to contribute to the country in any little way that I could. And that is what made me embark upon Invest India, which is the National Investment Promotion and Facilitation Agency of India. And so I joined as a senior innovation specialist. And I have a very creative side to me. So I decided to interview with the innovation and technology commercialization team at Invest India, which is the National Technology Commercialization Program, which is called Accelerating the Growth of New India's Innovations. I decided to interview with them and I joined them because innovation is creativity. And so I look after, so I'm getting to pursue both my passion as well as I'm balancing my legal training with my creative side. So I started looking after the legal, regulatory and policy related issues of India's innovation and technology commercialization at Invest India. And that's how the transition happened. And I think the last 2 years have been the happiest and the most innovative years of my career, because while I was working, being a major part of Make in India is what made me write my book also, which is based on the schemes of the government of India.
Amazing, amazing. What a journey it has been. So now coming to Invest India, what exactly is your role at Invest India? If you could throw some light there. And how did you write A New India? So you've recently authored this wonderful, wonderful book. And there was a book launch also that had taken place. So if you could, just talk about this beautiful book that you've written and what exactly is your role at Invest India? If you can talk about.
So, like I mentioned, I work as a senior innovation specialist at a team at Invest India, which is the National Technology Commercialization Program of the Government of India, called Accelerating the Growth of New India's Innovation. It is a program of the, it's a flagship initiative of the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, housed at Invest India. So I look after the all the legal regulatory. I look after technology regulation, in short, which is all the legal, regulatory, policy related, strategy related side affairs, sector agnostic. Covering all sectors that we look after. For technology within the program. And how I managed to write this book was that, being a part, again, my book is also a very innovative idea because I work for innovation. And like I mentioned, I have a creative side to me. So being a part of, Invest India, being a part of the Make in India program made me kind of want to convey to everyone in the simplest form possible about the different schemes of the government of India. Because I'm not sure how much people actually know, but there is a lot that the government is doing, and there is a lot that we are doing together as a country. And I felt that poetry is something which touches the heart, and I'm a poet. So I decided to write in my own unique art form of poetry. I decided to depict the schemes of the government of India, be it Make in India, Startup India, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, Smart Cities Mission, Digital India Mission, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, etc. And the various other schemes, that of the government of India. I decided to depict them in poetry form, easily readable and understandable by all age groups. And yes, my book got launched. I was very fortunate to have Honorable Minister Ms. Smriti Irani launch my book in April 2021. And it's I'm very happy that I've been able to do this, and I hope people do read it and enjoy it. So, and understand what the government is doing and how we are all working together to progress towards a new India.
Amazing.
And yeah, I'll show you a copy of my book.
Yeah, please do that. So to all the viewers who are watching, this is the copy of this wonderful book, which is authored by Amicus for today's session. There you go. So do get a copy, grab a copy whenever you can. All right, then. So moving ahead, you did mention about your love for poetry. That has always been your passion. Now, if I may ask you, did you manage to develop this passion over a period of time, or did it come naturally to you, or any particular poem that you wish to share with our viewers?
So my passion for poetry began when I was 10. I wrote a poem on Harry Potter. I was and I'm still obsessed with Harry Potter. And Harry Potter had just come out back in the day. And I used to live in Calcutta at that time. My father was posted there and I used to go to school there. So my poem was published mystically in a supplementary kids newspaper with the Telegraph called the Telekids. And that's what gave me a lot of confidence, and I started writing, and I realized my talent and my flair for writing poetry. And slowly with time I realized that I could make anything rhyme. But then with the whole so with the law school, things became a little difficult, my schedule, and then as a lawyer my schedule became very hectic, so poetry took a backseat. But then in 2018, I decided to pick up my pen again. And in 2019, I started my Instagram handle, which is @Naina.Pachnanda. And I started writing my poetry in December 2019 on my Instagram handle. And then the lockdown happened, and there were so many challenges everywhere. Everyone was going through something or the other. So I decided, including me, right? So I decided to write about all my challenges in poetry and put them out there on social media unapologetically, so that everyone could benefit from them. And so everyone would know that we're not alone. We all have challenges, different circumstances maybe, but challenges nonetheless. And we're all in the same boat, in this boat together, and we will all cross the shore together. That was my intention. And I got a very positive feedback, and before I knew it, I'd written over 200 poems in the lockdown. And of course, I wrote my book, A New India, and I have another book coming out in a couple of months. So that is my journey of being a poet. And so yeah, you wanted me to read one of my poems. I will definitely read one. Because we are all going through a very difficult time, and it's not just you or me or our families, but the entire world. We are all going through this pandemic together, and there are a lot of obstacles that we are all facing in common. So this one is called Karmically Bound. We are all one, and we all suffer alike. Illness doesn't view wealth, stature, wrong or right. We are all on this planet at this present moment together, karmically bound, going through this crisis like birds of the same feather.
Now, coming to the most important question, and a question that I've been ready to ask, being an influencer in the legal field, is rare. I mean, I've never heard of an influencer in the legal field or in the fraternity. So how do you manage to adorn so many hats?
It takes a lot of sleepless nights. It takes endless cups of tea and coffee. But to be honest, I love what I do. I'm very passionate about every single thing that I do. And, whether it's working as a lawyer, whether it's, writing my poetry, whether it's what I put out on social media, I enjoy every bit of it. And my only goal is to create value in society. And I think life and law is all about impacting society in a positive manner. And that's what I aim to do. My aim is just to positively influence as many people as I can in any way possible, whether it's by my day-to-day office work, whether it is, because I'm very fortunate that I work with the government. So, especially during this unprecedented crisis, I've had the opportunity to contribute, in ways more than one, and through my work. So whether it's via my office work of being being a lawyer at Invest India, whether it is through my videos on social media, whether it's through my words, my aim is just to positively influence people. So and I think if hard work is driven by passion, then it doesn't feel like work, it feels like fun.
Absolutely. So to all the viewers who are watching, identify what you're passionate about and make a career out of it. You will never ever feel the pressure of it. So who was your mentor, Ms. Naina, if I may ask? Did you have any particular mentor in the legal fraternity, or was it outside of the legal fraternity? Where did that fire in the belly come from?
So, so I have two mentors in my life. One is my father, that's Pachnanda. He's an IPS officer, like I mentioned, but he's also an advocate by profession, and he practiced in the Punjab and Haryana High Court, before joining the services. And over the years, discussions on the criminal justice system really imbibed my interest in law, particularly criminal law, over the years. And and my brother is also a lawyer. He's Advocate Vikrant Pachnanda. He's an advocate on record in the Supreme Court of India. So while he was in law school, hearing all his experiences about moot courts and paper presentations and conferences, really is what I think that was the motivation for me sitting for the common law admission test in the first place. So these two factors, and my sister Gitanjali Saraf is also a lawyer, and she is my role model, because she's a lawyer, she's a mother, she's a sister, she's a wife, and she balances all her roles very well, and it's something that I aspire to be like one day. So I think my father and my brother were my motivation behind choosing the profession, and my father and my sister Gitanjali are both my role models in life.
It's amazing. So now that we've hit, we are reaching the end of our segment. Anything that you wish to say towards the end of it? Any parting?
I want to tell all law students that it is never too late in life to pursue anything different. When I started off, I always wanted to be a litigation lawyer. And 5 years after litigating, I decided to switch my area of law. And and I realized over time, whether it's through my book, whether it's through the work that I do at Invest India, I realized over time that my goal was always the same. It was just to create value in society. It's just the means changed. Whether I would have been, eventually my goal towards becoming a senior advocate or a judge, or what I do now, either way, my goal was just to create a positive impact in society. And that's what I'm doing now too, in a very different way. Whether it is through social media, whether it is through poetry, whether it is through Invest India, legal, regulatory, and strategy work that I do at Invest India. So I would just say that, do whatever your heart desires. Remember that your legal training will always shape your personality, and it will always come to your aid. So it's never going to go waste. I owe all my success, and whatever little success I have gained today, I owe it all to my 5 years at NUJS and my 5 years as a litigation lawyer, and of course my 2 years at Invest India. But everything in life has been shaped by my study and my practice of law. So never hesitate, and don't compare yourself to other people, because you're only going to waste your time by doing that. Everyone has their own journey. We are all born on this planet. We each have our own mission to fulfill. So focus on your own mission and don't compare yourself to anyone else. You will achieve what you have to achieve. So yeah, that is all I have to say to all the law students and all the viewers watching this.
Wow. So the goal, the objective, the aim has always been to create value in the society, whether through poetry, whether through legal training, whether through counsel practice, whether working at a position of probably some other time. So it's not the position that is important. It is how you create value and the way you do it. That is what is so important. So what a journey. What an amazing story. I guess this is what the virtual amicus is all about. I just have one word, that is inspirational. So thank you so much, Miss Naina Pachnanda, for taking out time. Your presence really not just creates value on our show, but really matters to all of us and to all the viewers who are watching. And thank you so much once again. To all the viewers who are watching, thank you so much. Stay tuned. Next episode is on its way. Please stay home. Please stay indoors. Please be safe. And it's goodbye for now. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Naina.
Thank you, Jay. Bye. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.